Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you would like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of the shows while they premiere. There's also a PayPal and crypto link in the info box below the video. Most importantly though, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcome back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now once this stream finishes on the Nathan Oakley 1980 channel, it will continue on the same video with the after show. But if you're watching this as a live stream, unfortunately once it ends, it ends. Now we'll introduce all of the people on the panel, as we have had a debate before, although we did have a slight mishap with the stream. So I'll say another introduction to all of our panels guests. How you doing, Arwin? How you doing, Chocolate Sane? How you doing, Flat on Earth? And how you doing, The Plain Truth?
Good
hello,
afternoon.
hello. What?
Good morning, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, I'm
How
Flat
you doing?
Earth.
Good to have you. We got to do a very short but sweet housekeeping on the last one because Travis kept it almost too concise. But there we go. So, if you don't mind, gentlemen, any signs of curvature? I know Armin's got something presented ready. That might be curvature. We shall see.
No signs. None.
Nope.
Of the female-based variety?
Of the earth-based
Damn.
variety. Always of the earth-based variety.
Okay. Nope.
Badass curve.
Not that I've seen.
About signs of axial rotation. Again, of the earth-based variety.
No.
No.
Nope.
Definitely stationary.
Nope.
So it seems.
What about evidence of the distance to the sun?
Nope.
Nah.
No.
None of that.
The evidence of a gas pressure existing without a container?
Nope.
Without the balloon, there is no pressure.
Without the balloon, there is no pressure. Conspiracy Cats 2018.
I'd like to see a
Copy that.
model of it, of the gas pressure without a container that can last longer than a tenth of a second.
Yeah, entropy's a bitch if you believe in the vacuum of space. What about evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
I love it when you say that.
It's a beautiful heliocentric fairy tale with no foundation whatsoever.
Right, scientific evidence of gravity.
Scientific evidence of what?
Gravity.
Nope.
Don't be silly.
Negative.
It's just a tool. It's just a measuring tool. It works really well. It's not there. Not really.
What about the elusive R value? Any evidence of R?
Nah.
Arr!
I'm just wondering, like, will explorers one day just in their travels stumble upon R? Like, oh my god, we finally found R.
So, somewhere in the jungle.
I guess.
The elusive R, we found it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though,
Just
it'd
a big
it'd have to be
ancient
like
statue.
a borehole, wouldn't
R.
it? A borehole to the centre of the Earth, right?
Right.
But how would you prove it was to the centre? You'd have to go all the way through, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is nonsense. It's at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth, so you're assuming you can get all the way through, and it is a sphere with another side, right? You can go antipode by drilling through this nonsense. No, it's just all nonsense. Anyway, that concludes the housekeeping. Thank you very much. Glad we rattled through it again at the beginning of this new stream. Which I hope it is. I hope this is a new stream. I'll have to double check that. The link is still available. The Hangout's the same. So what you got on screen for us, Arwin? What are you itching to present?
I'm presenting Travis's video.
Oh, okay, excellent. Let's stick that on.
So, are you at the 16-minute mark?
Bear with me. Can you make it full screen?
What? It is. Basically.
Nah, it can't be. I can still see looming unicorn. There you go. Excellent. Sorry, take it away, Travis.
All right. Okay, so what minute mark are you at?
2:40.
Okay, go to 16:30. Thanks to MIDI HC. Shout out for his music.
Shout out MIDI.
I'm not playing the music now. No. Or if you can, I turn on the music,
If you want to.
Nathan.
Yeah, MIDI. I don't think he has a problem with that.
Well, I think at this point it's a cover of Rage Against the Machine. At this point.
No!
Okay. I called it a narwhal earlier, and then I changed it to unicorn. Okay, so here comes the ship, right? You can see it a little bit right there to the left of the containers.
Oh shit!
All right, now watch what happens on the left. Watch this.
What the hell?
What?
Wait, what the hell? That looks crazy.
Where did that come from?
Right?
So the boat behind is further away in a more limited angle, more subject to that effect of being in the limited angle. The oil rigs in the near foreground, less subject to it. Seems to make total sense to me. I mean, it looks cool, I'm not going to deny.
But that part in front of it, that wasn't visible when it
On the
moved
other
behind
side,
it.
right?
So the
Is it
question
moving?
is...
Is it moving towards the viewer gradually?
No, I don't think so. He's staying on a particular line, a traffic line, I'm sure.
Wait, that's the background. Is that the
right?
background, what I'm seeing
it kind of, no, but it can't be because it's moving, right?
Man, this is so confusing.
So I pretty much just go back to the oil rig after that. I should have stayed with the
Let's try
freighter,
again.
but I didn't.
See? Here, just this little thingy. And on the other side, it was huge when it
You
came
don't
out.
even see it though, really. And then the other side is sticking out.
Seriously?
It's very interesting.
I'm having a
footage,
very
man.
weird analogy moment where I'm thinking that the freighter thought the oil rig was quite attractive when he went past it, so he got a boner. Sorry, it's just... Why is that there all of a sudden? It wasn't there when it moved behind it.
Well, to quote Dawn Treader, you know, the world is a very dynamic place and you're looking over water, so it could just be as simple as the water dropping Could literally be a matter of inches, and it could bring something back into an angle that is visible where it was not before. Could just be as simple as that.
Just so weird.
Now, if you want to see something psychedelic, go to the 11-minute mark. And just watch what happens to the oil rig. Just it takes about a minute or so of playing for you to get it.
Okay. Is it melting?
You tell me. It looks like at one point it arches its back like a cat. It gets so bendy. Look at that. Look at that.
Man, it's like melting all over the place. They're melting. They're melting.
That's cool as hell, Travis.
Pleased with the way it looks on the stream. Spent ages yesterday making it all look pretty, so you don't end up with like little bits of icons interfering.
A
your
giant
beautiful footage.
hailstorm just erupted here.
I still hear Rage Against the Machine in the background a little bit. Better do what they told you. Better do what they told you.
Now you're under control.
Yeah, turn the music down.
So
I don't want
turn
to
it
get some
off?
music strike, Arwin.
All right.
I don't think you will because it's not the original
Let's not
music.
try it. Quit it now!
Hold on. I'm gonna show you something.
Excellent stuff. Did you say that you'd got
Yeah,
some as well?
thanks.
Hey Wiggles, how you doing?
Oh, hello, Nathan. Good, how are you?
Very well. Did you say you've got something as well? Chocolate.
Do you see that?
Something what?
Say that again.
Some footage. I thought someone else said they'd got some footage as well. Maybe I just imagined it.
No, I don't think I said I had. Well, I do have footage of stuff.
Not you, Wiggles. Before you came, I thought someone else had some more footage to show, but it might just been literally just Travis.
Oh, a hailstorm just broke through here. Out of nothing.
Hailing over there?
Yeah, can you see that? That's all hail.
Wow.
It just started like a minute ago. Anyway.
What's going on? We tracking the sun on a flat Earth live or something?
What? Sorry?
Tracking the sun. Oh, don't worry, just an old reference.
Wow. It's pretty big hailstones too. Now it's dying down. It's weird. It's just been pretty much dry all day, and suddenly out of nowhere, like a huge pile of hail comes falling out of the sky. Yeah. Wait. Yeah, really interesting video, Travis. Anyone still there?
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. I'm just shooting some other video right now.
Also, Nathan, I think you opened up your debate with saying there was no evidence of a curve.
Well, it's a question. Any evidence of curvature? Do you have some evidence of curvature to present?
Yeah, I do. I don't know if I've ever presented this, but I do have some, yes.
Ace? Knock yourself out.
Okay. It's basically that hidden below the horizon thing, right? Like how like a distant object is obstructed by the horizon, which I'm sure you've heard before. But I'm curious why. Like, well, actually, I got a good image to show that.
Oh, sorry. Was that the end of your example?
Well, I can show a GIF of it, just basically.
No. What you've just described was something being obscured from the bottom. Did you say?
Yeah.
Well, the question is any evidence of Earth curvature, as opposed to Earth obstruction from the bottom.
Well, that's the obstruction at the bottom just shows like that the surface of the ocean can't be flat.
Does it?
Really?
Oh yeah, I think it's really that simple.
Oh really? Well, I can get obstruction on a flat surface by lowering my camera right to the bottom of the floor. If something's far enough away, it reaches a limited angle and disappears. So, no, that's not a conclusion that you can draw from that observation. What I'm interested in, though, is the end of your sentence being that curvature is obstruction from the bottom up. I want to know how you draw that conclusion. How do you get from one to the other?
Well, just since the bottom of the object is obstructed, but it is like if I share my screen, I probably how do we do screen sharing here? Okay. Yeah, like I don't know if you can see my screen right now.
Yeah, you're up.
Yeah, so like this picture of the CN Tower here, it shows that like the bottom of the CN Tower is clearly like big enough to be seen, right? It's not like a person or an ant or something. It's like it's
no.
big enough to be seen.
No, did you not listen to what I said earlier? The bottom of this tower is a very, very limited angle. How far away are we? 32 miles away. The bottom of the tower has too small an angular size for the camera to resolve.
No, but it actually, no, it is big enough for the camera to resolve.
Okay, give me the angular size of the bottom. How many feet does it say is missing?
Oh, I don't know. Well, the whole tower is about
at least 10 to 20 meters.
Hold on.
Well, I can figure
Hold on. I'd like to know the angular size of however much you claim is being obscured by Earth curve. A very assumptive statement. I'd like to know the angular size of the bottom section of that tower, please.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. I gotta calculate that. Let's see. 52 pixels. 209 pixels. Wait, no, 51 out of 258, I'll call it. 51 divided by 258, that's proportion times 1800. So it's 355 feet that's being obstructed there. So
what's the angular size of 358 feet or whatever it was you said at 32 miles?
So I got to do a bit of math there. Arctan of... I got to do feet to miles.
It's going to get worse because obviously there's things in the near foreground. There's waves, right?
Can you do all this work before you call in and say you have something?
That's all right. He's just he came in with this religious assertion that it just is Earth curve, and now I'm asking him if it could be a possibility like the other demonstrations that things do disappear from bottom up due to an angular limitation. And now we're into calculating it because he didn't realise there was an alternative explanation other than to assert his religious belief. He didn't know that. Now he's doing it. That's fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm just I didn't like my point was just that the bottom is obstructed, but it's like it's kind of obvious to me that the bottom is big enough.
Hold on. What's it being obstructed by?
The ocean.
Sorry, my kid's being quite noisy. Can you repeat that?
It's being obstructed by the ocean.
So how does that prove Earth curve?
Well, it just proves that the surface of the ocean can't be flat, right? Because you can't hide behind the flat surface.
Yeah, you can. I've just explained that. Due to a limitation in angle, the thing that is closer to you, by virtue of perspective, can obscure things in the background that are bigger than it. Things get smaller and reduce towards the horizon as they get further away, whereas something in the near foreground, like a wave, can potentially be bigger than the thing in the background. That's called perspective. Do you understand that?
So you're saying a wave is obstructing the tower there in that picture?
Part of it, yeah. Absolutely, without question. It's something that you're looking over that's causing a limitation to the angle of view. So, yes. Had you not considered it when you asserted your religious belief that Earth curve was obscuring it? Had you not considered this?
Well, I considered it might be a wave, yes, but then, like, the wave would have to be at least at the height of the observer.
Why?
And I don't think
when
the
it's
wave
rising
is that
up,
high.
when it's clearly rising up to the eye level of this camera, why would it need to be at the height of your eyes when everything in the distance is rising up by virtue of perspective?
What do you mean everything in the distance is rising up?
Yeah, I'll show for the audience because you're obviously a Muppet. This stuff here is the same rough height. Oh, yeah. You just keep on your picture.
I'll leave that though.
So it's okay. You can't see what I'm doing, only the audience can. So this stuff here, in the near foreground, is roughly the same height, but for the waves that we're detailing, as the stuff over here. It's the same bloody height, but yet it's higher in the frame of the picture, Wiggles. So it is, as described, rising up to the midpoint of the camera, eye level.
That was kind of hard to follow without you pointing at the stuff.
Yeah, just perspective, simple stuff.
How sight works.
Children learn. Anyway, so just out of interest, just pop your picture back up one more time, Wiggles. It's just one more thing.
Yeah.
So the picture on the right, is it also taken from 32 miles away?
That one would be taken from closer, probably.
Oh, would that not give you a completely different set of angles?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, it would, you retard. Being closer to something widens the angle of things. It seems that you have ignored totally the angular relationship to these buildings whilst asserting your religious belief that Earth curves obscuring from the bottom, and ignoring simultaneously our declaration and examples that things can indeed disappear from bottom up on a flat surface.
There's two things to consider there. Either Wiggles is completely obtuse, or he's completely lying to us and presenting a false narrative intentionally.
Well, let's try a different thing then. What about if like an entire object disappeared? Like
I think we have to stick to the basics.
Just pop your picture back up, Wiggles.
The basics,
Sorry,
Wiggles.
just
Stick
pop
to
your
the basics
picture
of
back up.
perspective.
Can you pop your picture back up? We don't
Sure.
want to come away from this. We want to continue to point out that you have asserted a religious belief about Earth curve obstruction and simultaneously ignored all aspects that we have just detailed. Now you want to move on. I want you to say, oh, I hadn't considered that the angular size of the bottom of this building might be too small. I haven't calculated that.
Actually, I can calculate it right quickly right now.
I don't care if you could. You haven't.
It's one arctan of...
Listen. You have not done this. Past tense. I don't care what you could do. You haven't done it, but you have asserted a religious belief that it's Earth curve causing it. And now you're saying, well, I could consider these other things after I've asserted my religious belief that it is Earth curve. Do you understand my point?
Well, yeah, it's just a quick second to calculate the angle.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying you've already declared it's bloody Earth curve, you stupid moron. Silence. Yeah, you've already declared your religious belief about it, haven't you, Wiggles? So yes, you could consider other options going forward, but ipso facto, you have declared it is Earth curve.
Yeah, so I calculated the angle. We'll get to that, but I calculated the angle, and it's so the angle of the bottom of the view, like the apparent angle that the would take in your field of view at the bottom of the tower there would be 0.002 radians.
Wow.
Oh, really? So now you need to know the diffraction limit of the camera used. What was the camera?
No, this is not particular to any camera. This
Sorry,
is any
are you
viewing.
telling me that the size of the aperture in the camera does not affect the diffraction limit? You're an idiot. Don't tell me what cameras do. Again, you have no place making declarations about what the aperture will or won't do. You've never even considered this. You're only doing the maths now I've told you to after you've asserted your religious belief about what's happening. So don't do anything further. Sod off and do it elsewhere. Then come back with the alternative. Yeah? Now that I've pointed out your religious belief about it and the fact that you've asserted it, regardless of any other consideration, some that are now being pointed out and you want to do live.
I'm kind of curious here because, yeah, the diffraction limit is in the specs. So you should be able to look it up in your instruction manual of whatever camera you use for that, or you can look it up on the internet if you know the specs. You could do it very quickly. So
you should. He's just said that diffraction limit isn't specific to any camera, which makes me want to slap him. You moron.
You should. Yeah, he deserves a slap for that.
No,
so
I don't know anything about diffraction limits.
Yeah, no shit.
Just
no shit. So why are you coming here telling us what's causing the obstruction from bottom up if you don't know anything about the subject? Why are you here being a religious zealot?
Well, I think it's kind of clear from looking at the picture that the ocean is obstructing the bottom of the tower.
Yeah, I've just said, by virtue of perspective, things can obscure. I'm talking about your assertion of Earth curve.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's a religious assertion that you have no place making, considering you're a total bonehead and haven't got the vaguest notion what you're talking about.
Well, no, I don't think so. Like,
yeah, I know so.
Example.
We've just gone through it.
We don't need another example. We have to stay on this one, Wiggles.
Right. We don't need other examples. We need you to understand that there is more to sight and cameras and perspective than just assuming whatever you see is something that seems very convenient. No, diffraction limit, it's something. It's in the technical specs. You need to understand that before you can make any kind of claims. Because it's part of sight. It's there.
That's not the bit I'm interested
in.
I'm interested specifically in why you've come here and declared your religious belief about this shit. Why?
Well, it's not a religious belief.
Yeah,
it's
it is. Unless you can provide me some bloody evidence of Earth curve or radius, I'm not interested in your declaration like you did in the chat room yesterday. Not interested in your belief about this or how confident you are about this. Not interested. Yeah? What you presented... I haven't finished. What you have presented is not Earth curve. Yet you, the religious zealot on the panel, have declared it as such. That annoys me greatly.
Well, I'm
if
sorry
you want, you can pull up... Arwen, you could pull up my video again and just do a quick demo on the perspective of the freighter passing behind the oil rig and just talk about it that way, because I think that would give a interesting perspective discussion.
I think it'll just confuse him more. He first just needs to learn that diffraction limit is something in the technical specs of cameras for a reason. It's there. Why is it there? Because it's a part of perspective. And until he can recognize it, he'll always be touching in the dark and interpreting in pictures whatever he likes.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, boys.
Hello, Alan. We've got another new guest as well. Who's this? Flat Earth?
Hello, hello.
Hello, good to have you. Sorry, what can I refer to you as?
That's Vegan Goy.
Oh, is it Vegan Goy? Oh, sorry, Vegan Goy. I just couldn't see the rest of your name.
Yeah, sorry,
Good to have you.
I had the other account. Sorry about that.
My bad. Good to have you.
You enjoying being called a moron, Wiggles?
Well, I don't think I'm a moron. Well,
this is very basic.
Well, actually, I am a moron because I should have used my other evidence. I should have used like the evidence of Backloo Island.
Yes, you need to get a much tighter story before you come on here.
Yeah, why, instead of just looking for evidence, why don't you actually learn about the medium you're looking evidence in? Learn about the medium you're using to find this evidence of yours. Learn what it is. Learn about diffraction. Otherwise, you'll be stumbling in the dark. You don't
Well,
know what you're looking at because you don't understand the medium.
I can show you guys like some more evidence that I have like of the Earth curve.
This you didn't even show us any yet. So what do you mean more?
Okay, well, I was attempting the CN Tower to see if you guys would see it, but you don't. So I'll try something else.
What do you mean see it? See what? Earth curve?
See if you,
no, they were taken from
see if
different
you guys
angles.
would see it. Yeah.
Your comparison was fallacious because the one that was taken closer has a wider angle to the bottom of it, and the bottom of the tower, specifically the bit you're claiming with your religious assertion that is Earth curve blocking, has a smaller angular size at a greater distance. Something that you not only didn't understand, but certainly hadn't applied when you told us about your religious belief about what was causing it.
Yeah, well, I have like a similar example here I can show.
Obstruction from the bottom up.
I don't know if you can see my screen right now.
Yep. Can you make it full screen,
yeah.
or is that full screen as it goes for you?
Yeah, this is like you see like there's like kind of some islands in the distance there on my screen.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, it's like it's really you can just barely see it, but it's like it's
How far away are they, Wiggles?
About 60 kilometers or something like that.
I'm an American. How many miles is that?
I don't know, like 40 miles or something like that. But you can see right here, there's like clearly an island.
Yo.
Hey, Anthony, about 37 miles.
How do you know that's not like a fog bank?
Oh, I know it's like, because if I look at a map of the area, right? Let's see. Yeah, it's this island right here. I don't know if you can see on my screen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this island here. I'm standing up on the cliff right here, near Paradise. So I'm standing on or somewhere around here. I'm standing on the cliff, and then I'm looking at this island. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So now, so right, you can kind of see in the video, right? I'm standing up on top of a cliff. There's the cliff.
Yeah, we got it. I'm with you so far. I'm tracking along happily.
Okay, cool. And so now I think it was if you debunk Horizon test 4. Okay, so now I stand at the bottom of the ocean there, and then what I do is I look across the same horizon there. And then you don't see the island. I think I scan across now. Yeah, there we go. It's crisp. Then I scan across the horizon. And I don't see the island.
Yeah, amazing that. You've decreased your angle and it's gone. What a surprise. Completely in line with what we keep explaining on the angle of attack videos.
Wait, what do you mean I've decreased my angle?
Oh, my bad. I was just
this
in the
is
middle of explaining
insane.
something that you obviously know all about, even though you've confessed you don't know anything about it. My bad. You tell me about how it's Earth curve, and again, assert your religious belief here.
What angle have I decreased?
Sorry, you've lowered your elevation, thus decreasing the angle to the thing you are looking at. Yeah,
I don't think that matters though. Like,
oh right. Well, tell me all about how it's Earth curve doing it then, dickhead.
Well, the island is like clearly big enough to be seen, right? Because you could see it from the top of the cliff.
Yeah, because you had a wider angle to it. I've just explained that. You're just going to literally ignore what I've said and reassert your religious belief a third time.
He doesn't understand what you're saying, so he
can't.
Yeah,
I don't understand what you're saying when you say I'm at a wider angle to it.
Got a wider angle to it.
This is insane.
You know what an angle is? You've got you. Yeah. Let's put it in side elevation. Let's put it in Muppet vision for you. Let's pretend it's in side elevation, and you draw two lines from your eye to the bottom of that thing. You've got a wider angle at the top of the cliff than you have at the bottom. If you draw two lines to the bottom of it from the bottom, they're narrower, they're closer together, a more limited angle. Hello?
Yeah, but I don't see how that...
Wait, no. What do you mean, yeah, but I don't see? Yeah, what do you mean you don't see? Yeah, we know you don't see. You believe it's bloody Earth curve.
Yeah, let's let this guy... what's your name, sorry?
Plain Truth.
Plain Truth, yeah, so, okay, jump in.
Okay, so I'm going to the beach right now to shoot the same footage that I shot with my Looming Unicorn freighter, and I've created a monopod slide for my camera so that I can decrease my viewing angle. So I'm going to have a higher viewing angle to begin with. I'm going to be aiming at the oil rig. I'm going to be able to slide my camera down the monopod to ground level, and you're going to see, not Earth curve, you're going to see the oil rig change in its angular resolution because I'm changing my viewing angle. So I'm giving you a heads up as to what I'm going to do, and when I publish it and you subscribe to my channel and watch it, which everybody should do, thank you very much, you will hopefully be able to understand what the viewing angle increase and decrease is of which we are speaking.
Well, I think I might understand what you're saying. So, like, I'll just draw a quick sketch. So, like, say there's like an object here. I'll just draw as a square, and you have like an eye here, and or if you have an eye here.
Right. So, do you understand?
You're gonna
this is an autographic view. This is not actually how perspective works. This is only a representation of the setup.
Is this angle here?
Perspective.
No.
Is this the angle you're talking about?
No. If you were to draw two lines from the eye to the object, those two lines get closer together as you lower.
So 2 lines from the eye to the object.
So on the right-hand side of the page, you draw an eye at the top and an eye at the bottom. There you go.
An eye at the top?
Yeah, so another man underneath.
Okay.
And then on the left-hand side, you draw a box, you know, whatever size.
An object you're looking at, yeah.
Yeah, and then from the top man's eye, you draw a line to the top of, so the top left-hand corner of your box. And then you do the same, top left-hand, there you go. And then from the eye again. No, so you're just ignoring me now. So from the same observer, you now draw from the eye, exactly the same, to the bottom of it. The bottom right-hand corner. Wow.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
Bottom right. There you go. Then just do the same with the guy at the top, on the bottom.
Okay.
Right. So his angle becomes smaller as he decreases. Simple.
Well, that's kind of a negligible... Oh, okay, so you're talking about this angle here.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, that angle doesn't really change that much, though.
No, but it's
right.
Angle compared.
So if it doesn't change that much, hold on, Owen. So the guy at the bottom, can you see the top of the box?
Well, it kind of depends on how I draw it, but if he's above,
how much of the top of the box, based on exactly how you've drawn it, now draw another line on the top of the guy's, draw it to the top left-hand corner of the box. Yeah. Now do the same exact thing with the top guy. Draw a line from the guy's eye to the top right-hand corner of the box on the top guy. Right. Now can you see how the top angle has got a wider angle to the top of the box than the bottom guy?
Okay, yeah.
So he's going to see a nice clear image of the top of that box. What do you think the bottom guy's going to see at the top of that box? Is he going to see a little sliver?
Yeah, he's not going to see very much of the top.
Oh, that's interesting. So his angle's got smaller then, to the top of the box.
How does that affect the bottom of the
building? Excuse me, shut up, Alan. So you see that it has got smaller.
Yeah, that was a little bit rude.
Well, I was talking to you. You who have not considered any of this, and I'm having to school you in.
Well, I mean, like, but what we're talking
just
about is
answer
how
my
much of the
question.
front that they can see.
Do you see that he has a smaller angle to the top section of that box? He can still see the top of the box, right? But to him, it's going to be a really tiny little sliver, even though he can still see the top of the box, all of the box. It's not obscured by anything, but the smaller angle means he's going to see less of the top of that box, isn't he?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about, like, with my Backloo Island example. I'm talking about the front of the island.
Right,
That's
good
what I'm
luck.
looking
We're
at.
talking about this.
So the angle's got smaller, right, Wiggles?
Well, yeah, that angle gets smaller, but I don't
Excellent!
see how...
So we have a concession. So the angle decreases. Now, answer me this, Wiggles. When you do your curve maths for your religious faith, does it take into consideration the angular changes that occur when you raise or lower your position?
You don't need to take that into
Sorry,
account.
that's not
I
what
know
I
the
asked.
answer.
I didn't ask
I know
who's
the-
talking. Shut up, whoever's talking. So, it does not account for this angular change that does definitely occur when you do your religious mathematics. You don't take this into account. Don't tell me if it needs to or not. Just say no, Nathan. Our holy globe maths that assumes R does not take what I've just demonstrated with my own scribbles to the audience into account. Just say no.
Well, this angle doesn't need to be taken into account.
That's not what I
Why?
asked. That's
So
not what
hard.
I asked. Does your holy globe maths take this into account? This change that you have just conceded does occur or not? The answer is no. I want you to say it though. No, it doesn't take this into account. Not, it doesn't need to.
How is that angle relevant?
Don't ask me a question. I'm talking about the maths that you base your religious belief on. You've already had your ass handed to you when you made the first religious assertion, and we pointed this out the first time. Now we're doing it again, so it's getting slightly more humiliating for you. You will concede that your maths for your religion that assumes R does not take the very thing you've conceded does happen into effect. It does not, Wiggles. Say yes, Nathan, that's right. It doesn't take this change of angle into account. Does it,
Doesn't
Wiggles?
Doesn't affect the bottom of the building.
Let's kick Alan out. Wiggles, you've just conceded there was a change in angle, and it would affect what you saw of the top of the box. Now you will concede that your religious maths doesn't account for this.
But, like, forget angles and all that all of a second. Why is it that I can't even see
Don't ask me
Backloo Island
something.
from the
I'm not asking you for a question and answer session. This is a fact. There is an angular change. Fact. You have conceded it. Now you will concede that your basis of your assertion that Earth curve blocks it has mathematics that does not account for this. I will do this until the end of the show, until you are conceding that fact.
Well, I'm just going to keep asking you what the relevance of that angle is.
What the relevance of the change in angle is? Well, you see a different picture as you change your angle. This is what we're trying to get through to you, Wiggles. It changes what you see. But if you don't account for it when you're accounting for photographs, things we see, that's a problem of your religious belief.
Like, the distances we're talking about here, like this...
Yeah, this
like
is what we're talking about. Stop telling me we're not talking about it. It's on screen. You've drawn it. Yes, we are talking about this.
Like, the distances we're talking about is like say we got a square...
What, 31
and, like,
miles? Yeah, that's a huge distance. I can show you an angular change on an A4 piece of paper, yet you think the angular change won't make any significant difference over 32 miles?
Well, it doesn't, like...
What do you mean
Yeah,
it doesn't?
it
Why are
does.
you asserting that it doesn't? I can show you pictorially, in idiot vision, side-on, perspective exclusive, so that you get it, in your biblical language of side elevation. You've conceded it, and now you're telling me it doesn't matter. You didn't even know this happened until 30 seconds ago.
Well, I think this angle.
I don't care what you think. I want you to
alpha.
concede your maths doesn't account for this. That's what I want. And until you do it, we're not moving on. I'm telling you, it doesn't. But I want you, the bonehead on the panel that's only just had this presented to him, to concede it also, so we can move on as a team, as consensus. You all love that, don't you? Having a consensus. Well, fact, your maths doesn't account for this change in angle.
I think this is typical Nathan fashion, where I get cut off when I try to make a point.
I'm making a point. You haven't conceded it. And until you do, you don't get to make points. I'm the one making a point. You're the one not conceding it. So until you do, I'll hold you with your toes to the fire until you go, no, I make my religious assertion in spite of the fact that it doesn't account for this very real angular change. That's what we're going to do here, Wiggles. You, the one with the religious belief, you, the zealot, will actually concede something here. And if you don't make any points. I make them. To you, or more importantly, the audience that know exactly what's going on here, Wiggles. You, the religious zealot, will not concede because you're a religious zealot.
Well, I think the angle is a red herring. Like,
The red herrings are so much easier. So, it's right there. Just have to take one step aside. So good at it.
like, the question I would ask is, like, why?
I don't
is it
care
that I
what
can't
question
see
you would
that?
ask. Are you not listening? Are you deaf? Or are you stupid? Will this not process because you are stupid? You have a religious assertion that you have made 3 times. I'm tired of what you would assert. I am telling you, your religious belief and its mathematics excludes the effects of angular changes. It does so by not using angular sizes, but by using feet and inches, which doesn't change with distance. That's what I'm going to make you understand, and I don't give a damn if it takes the entire show. You won't make a point here. We've already got to the point where we all understand that you're a religious zealot. That's why I've got to do this, drag you kicking and screaming to the acceptance that your religious assertion is just that, a zealot's assertion about his belief.
I don't think I'm making any religious assertions here.
You said it's Earth curve. So far, not so good.
Well, let's just like not make any assumptions. Let's say we don't know what it is. So like,
No, what is?
We don't know. We don't know why we can't see like Backloo Island from the beach, right? Like why?
Yeah,
why
yeah,
is
we
it
do.
that
Are
we
you
can't
deaf?
see it?
Sorry, why would you make such an assertion? Clearly you are deaf. I have explained to you multiple times on this show. There is a limitation of the angle. How slow have I got to say? I mean, am I wrong in getting exasperated here, guys? The rest of you on the panel. Is it just me, or have I already explained this to him?
No, Wiggles is wobbling and he's going to fall down.
Beautiful.
Well, I think Alan was probably on my side.
Alan's a dick. Alan's also a religious zealot. Do you think I care that Alan would have rumpused the hangout to save you from this toe burning? No. You are here to concede that your maths doesn't account for this. Angular size is not accounted for. You use whole numbers, feet and inches. A 10-foot wall is a 10-foot wall if it's 4,000 miles away, according to you idiots with a religious belief. You've just said we won't believe anything. Well, you've come in with a belief. It's Earth curve, based on an R value and maths that excludes the effects of angular relationships. And you're going to concede it.
Well, I mean, yes, a 4-foot wall is 4 feet, no matter if it's 10,000 feet away, if it's 10 miles away, if it's light years away, it's still a 4-foot wall or however high it is.
Yeah, that's my point. That's how you hijack the effects of perspective, i.e. angular size relationships. That's perspective. And your maths says a 10-foot wall is visible 1,000,000 miles away because it's always 10 foot, right? No. Probably a mile. It's got too small of an angle to see it anymore. Because it's the angular relationship that dictates whether or not you can see something. But you think it's Earth curve, don't you, Wiggles? That's what dictates whether or not you can see something. If Earth curves in the way exclusively while you ignore all these effects of angular size and declare quite confidently that a 10-foot wall is always 10 feet, even though its angular size is massively and infinitely variable depending on how bloody far you are.
Well, to see something, you just need to get like the photon from the object to your eye.
Sorry,
like,
I don't give a crap about this distraction. You've asserted a religious belief here, and I'm going to get you to the point where you concede that your religious belief and its mathematics are incorrect and perspective exclusive. It doesn't account for any angular relationships. A 10-foot wall is always a 10-foot wall, right? Wrong. Its angular size changes. So to have a consistent value for a 10-foot wall is wrong when its angular change does happen.
Well, you got to be careful not to conflate angular size with like actual size.
Yeah, we're not talking about actual size though, are we? That's the point. Your maths talks about actual size because it needs to replace perspective with Earth curve. That's where you get your religious belief from. Actual size isn't how we view things, is it, Wiggles? Do we view things in actual sizes?
Well, when you look at things, like, it takes up an angle of your vision.
So we don't view things in actual sizes like your maths uses. We view things in angular sizes like your maths doesn't use then, Wiggles. My point that I'm trying to get you to concede still. Let's put it another way, Wiggles. Given that we view things in angular relationships, wouldn't you say it would be incorrect to analyse something that we can see using actual sizes like your religious maths do?
Well, not at all, no. Because, like...
why not? We've just said that when we view things, we view them with angles and not actual sizes. Why would it be fair to compare things we see with actual sizes when that's not how we see things? That seems like something that a magician would do to trick you.
Yeah, you've been telling yourself this a long time, Nathan.
What? Telling myself what?
You've
agreed.
Sorry,
sorry, telling myself what? I've just said, and you've conceded and agreed, that we don't view things in actual sizes, like your begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking, curve calculator uses, not actual sizes. That's not how we see things. We see things in angular sizes. You've conceded this. Are you saying that I'm convincing myself of this? Because that is an absolute stone cold fact, Wiggles.
No, I think what he's saying is, I'm sorry to say I can't make you ignore this like I am. I think that's what he literally said without even realizing it.
Oh, I would prefer I ignored the angular relationships. Yes, it's much better if I ignored them.
So much
because they
easier.
replace them with R and say it's Earth curve, which is precisely what this religious zealot has done. Replaced all these aspects we're trying to explain to him with actual sizes.
Red herring, right?
Sorry, how is this a red herring?
It doesn't exist.
This is exactly what is happening.
No, you can calculate the angular size of an object. You use like it's however far away, it's however high. You just do the arctan of y over x. That'll give you an angular size. Like that's fine.
Yeah, that's great. So why don't you use that system in the curvature calculator then?
Like, because all the curvature calculator is used is to see, like, should you be able to see an object or not. It just gives you a binary output. Like,
sorry, I use my eyes to determine whether or not I can see something. Why would you use a model? Is that a reification fallacy? You're going to ask the model whether or not you can see something? You bonehead. I use my eyes. That's because I'm a flat earther. Globehead religious zealots, they ask a model whether or not they can see something.
I use my eyes too
shut up.
To see if I can see
as a flat earther, use my bloody eyes. You look at the model. Almighty model, can I see this?
Well, I'm using my eyes right here. I cannot see the back blue island.
And
I can't see it. Why can't I see it?
Yeah, you can't see it because it's too small to see.
No, it is big enough to see. We already saw that. That we saw it in right here in this video right here. It's big enough to see.
Oh, didn't you have a wider angle of view though? It seems like you're now circle jerking us. Why are you being an asshole, religious zealot? Why would you circle jerk us back to the point that you've not conceded after you still have not conceded it? Are you just a circle jerking asshole?
Bacaloo Island is big enough to be seen at that.
Sorry, you are a circle-jerking asshole. So you're going to make your assertion again, having not conceded that your assertion, which will come eventually, if I won't, but if I was to let you circle-jerk us again, that it's Earth curve causing this, right, Wiggles?
Well, this is the ocean is not flat. That's what's causing it.
Why would you say that?
Well, because that's how. That's just like from being on.
Now you're
this
stuttering.
Earth.
Yeah, things can disappear on a flat surface. It has been demonstrated.
Like whether the Earth is flat or round. Like I've been using my eyes. You know, I've been walking around observing.
Oh, who gives a crap? Shut up. I don't care about your musings on this matter, right? You're showing us this and telling us it's Earth curve. When we get to the point that I say, how do you extrapolate this out? Your mathematics that assume R and ignore all angular relationships do not give you a result of Earth curve. That's just your religious belief. Your maths doesn't include any of the angular changes that occur when you lower. Okay, Wiggles? So, this is nonsense.
Yeah, I don't expect us to find any common ground, but it's just fun to try.
If you're going to ignore everything, yeah.
Common ground, you've not conceded a damn thing. Is the common ground that I accept it's Earth curve, Wiggles?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be the common ground.
Spoken like a true zealot. And with that, I will say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. And, of course, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you're watching this on Nathan Oakley 1980, stay tuned, as there will be the after show to follow. But to all of you in the live audience, I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
So much more what?
Intuitive.
Yeah, it's just natural. It's intuitive. It's real.
How about less ignorant?
When people like you come on and argue the way that you're arguing, I just am more and more confirmed in what I understand the world to be.
Yeah, thank you, Wiggles, really, for submitting our thoughts on this matter.
Well, that's interesting, yeah, because
You
like
don't
us,
hide in knowledge, you hide in psychological trickery. What you do.
it's like us globe earthers. Like we kind of remark that the flat earthers kind of have a confirmation bias. Like when we show you guys like facts, like photos of Earth from space and all that. It kind of
photos from space.
Yeah,
So Wiggles, we've had this conversation 3 days running in chat rooms.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, all you could do was say, Earth has gas pressure and space is a vacuum, therefore it's possible. That was your end conclusion. In other words, assert your religious belief as proof. That's all you've got. But you're still here saying it. I can hear the tongue in your cheek when you say it. You just literally just trying to wind me up.
I can hear it too.
I wanted that was funny with the gas chamber thing, because like I don't know if you realize, right? You're saying that Earth must have a dome around it.
Sorry, I don't say any such thing.
No one's
I
ever said
say you.
that.
Sorry, you've just said. Literally, within 2 minutes of your own assertion, you're strawmanning me. So this is what we've done 3 days running in chat rooms. So instantaneously, when you're verbally doing it with me, you asshole, you're strawmanning me. So I said in the chat room, put a quote mark around what I have said regarding my claim about the dome. That's when I banned you yesterday, Wiggles, you asshole. So you continue to strawman me. Do you have any other logical fallacies, or is it just the strawman? I am addressing your claim that we have photos from a medium that cannot possibly exist because you cannot have gas pressure next to a vacuum. That is a second law of thermodynamics violation. Now, unless you can show me a demonstration of a violation of the second law of thermodynamics, I won't accept your religious view about a medium that defies that law. Okay, Wiggles? Don't just assert that because you believe in space and we do have gas, that makes it so. That, again, is your pathetic religious faith.
Yeah, no, like I was thinking about like that where you said there can't be space gas next to a vacuum, and I did think about that a little. I just wanted to make sure like it made sense. But
No!
like Nathan, I think
It doesn't make sense, you total bonehead. No, it doesn't make sense to have gas pressure next to a vacuum because entropy would take effect and it would disperse. To put it into quotes, the gas would fill the space. Wiggles 2019. In quotes.
Yeah, no, I was restating your point there. I don't actually believe that, but I was restating.
Oh,
your
really?
point
You don't believe in the second law of thermodynamics? I don't give a crap about your beliefs. It's a law. Unless you can show me something violating the second law. Can you do that, Wiggles?
Well, I think you misunderstand the law, Nathan. It's not talking about like
hot flows to cold, high pressure to low pressure, entropy. I understand it implicitly. Now show me something violating it.
Well, like I think the way we need to approach this is to
show me a violation of the second law.
Is that it again, Wiggles? Is it to ignore this thing that we do and interpret it only in that other way that has nothing to do with it? So to get it out of the way, is that it, Wiggles?
Well, the idea is to, like, Nathan, let's just examine your claim that, like, Earth's atmosphere would be sucked out into space. Let's just examine that carefully. So, like, you're saying...
Sorry, again, so that is not my claim. You cannot have gas pressure without a container. That is a statement of fact, unless you can disprove it. So... can you disprove my statement of fact based on the second law of thermodynamics? If not, I'm not interested in your religious belief about what space can do.
Yes, I can disprove it.
Excellent. Let's see your violation of the second law of thermodynamics.
Oh, we should save this for the show, though. I mean, this is great proof here.
Well, I mean, we could do it again in the show.
No, I'm all ears.
Okay, so, like, we do live in a pressurized atmosphere, right? That's the first kind of thing we notice. And we accept that, right?
No shit. I know we've got bloody gas pressure. I'm breathing it.
Okay, yes, good. So, and you say
that's
that
not my problem, though. Wiggles, let's get it clear.
Let's
get it clear. From the off. My issue is the space bit. The bit that's supposed to be a vacuum. That's the bit I've got a problem with. The bit that none of us are going to. So just before you go on... is there anybody in the panel who has experienced this complete vacuum known as outer space? Anybody on the panel at all?
Yeah.
I saw it on TV.
Experienced, firsthand.
No, I felt it. But I have my doubts that it was actually physical reality. But I'm pretty sure that I experienced
Kick him out, Nathan. He didn't feel it. Kick it out.
Thanks for that, Arwen. Jesus.
So, I'll take that as a no. None of us have experienced this region. Now, Wiggles, that's the bit that you need to prove by defying the second law of thermodynamics. So, on you go.
Yeah, okay, so you said that you can't have a gas out of pressure without a container.
That would be part of the second law of thermodynamics, yes.
Yeah, and we have a pressurized atmosphere.
Yeah, we've got this far already. I know that.
So therefore, right, like, so it's saying so that's basically saying you can't have gas without a pressure. Means saying if there's gas pressure, then there's a container. If there's gas pressure, then there's a container. It's an if-then statement. So then we do have gas pressure. Therefore, we must have a container around Earth's atmosphere.
So the necessary antecedent. Without a container, there can be no pressure. Conspiracy Cats 2018, in quotes. Without the container, there is no pressure.
Yeah, so that's just like the contrapositive of that statement, which is logically equivalent.
We're not getting anywhere close to proving space, are we now, Wiggles? We're just going around in circles, proving the bloody obvious that we all experience on the ground. Yes, we know we've got gas pressure. Okay, next.
So since there's gas pressure, there must be a container around Earth, you're saying?
I've made no such claim. I have said that the necessary antecedent for gas pressure is a container. This is in the face of your belief in a vacuum rather than a container.
Oh, I'm not sure you see the logic, right? Like you're saying if there's gas pressure, then there must be a container. Like you agree with that statement?
It's a necessary antecedent.
We agree.
Okay, gas pressure gas pressure implies a container. Okay.
No, it doesn't imply. It's required.
It's
no
the
container,
necessary-
no gas pressure.
I'll say it
Very
again.
simple. No container, no gas pressure.
Correct. It is the necessary antecedent. Third time I've said it.
Yeah, so gas pressure implies a container.
No. Not implies. How many bloody times? You're either deaf, dumb, or stupid. I'll say it a fourth time. Maybe. Do you not know what the word antecedent means?
Yeah, you have like antecedent and consequent, which are like the...
Right. So without the necessary antecedent, you wouldn't have the consequent. So without the container, there can be no pressure. In quotes, Conspiracy Flaps 2018.
So let me put it another way. Without the petrol, you can't get to work in your car. You need the petrol to get your car to move, right? You need a container to have gas pressure.
Just like you need something physical to have a light in space, right, guys?
No, space, as you describe, is a bogus medium, unorthodox. It cannot exist because we have gas pressure here, and that needs the necessary antecedent of a container. Something to press upon. You boneheads assert that rather than pressing upon something, it's next to a vacuum, which defies the second law of thermodynamics.
Regardless, it's got to be physical, because have you ever in your day-to-day life experienced a light that didn't have a physical
What is that
object that went along with it, right?
This is a red
Using your
herring.
exact same logic.
Yeah, it's not really relevant to the
not
discussion.
Irrelevant.
Well, I'm pointing out holes in their logic, Wiggles. That's a direct
understand.
contradiction.
You don't
to their
do that
logic.
by pointing at a red herring.
I think, to be fair, we've all got something to bring to this conversation, and I think from now on, the thing that you should bring, unorthodox, is silence.
Yeah,
Oh, you
or
would
a
love that,
banjo.
wouldn't you?
Get that freaking banjo, man.
I got a demonstration for Anthony Riley. I was going to show you guys.
Why? We've taken about 3/4 of an hour to get to the point where Wiggles will concede a single thing. He won't. His religious belief is so strong that his cognition refuses to let him do it.
Wiggles, if I was to ask Nathan to kick you for refusing to accept facts against your religion, would you feel hard done by?
No, I mean, like, I could just see that the Earth is round and you guys can't accept it, and that's the way it is, so that's okay by me.
Would you mind kicking Wiggles? Because I think he's here wasting everybody's time.
If Wiggles gets kicked, or if Wiggles agrees, you see, he's going to get shunned by the ball community, and so he can't do this.
Point.
There's no ball community.
Yeah, there is, dickhead.
It's like 99.9% of the world population.
Nathan,
It's not a
would you mind
community.
kicking Wiggles? I feel he's procrastinating and wasting time.
Do you know what you like? I mean, I would keep. I'm not kicking anybody. He's not sworn. He's perfectly polite. He's a religious zealot, but that's not reason to kick him.
No, but
Or
it
not,
is the
not reason for me to kick him.
Okay, can he be kicked for being dumb then?
No, come on.
I can't control who kicks
want-
who.
If you want to
I
change
prefer
the
a
subject,
stage.
change
All are
the
welcome.
You are being dumb, Wiggles.
Well, before he does,
Anthony,
if he
with the
does,
hair
I don't
trigger,
want him to
man.
get kicked
Shit,
before
come
I say
on.
this. Hold on. Thank you very much, Wiggles. You are a very good sport. Thank you.
True.
Okay, I'm glad you said I'm a good sport.
But you are a moron, to be fair.
I don't think so.
Of course you don't.
Well, that's part of the fun about being a moron is you don't think you're one. So congrats.
Ignorance is bliss. There's nothing more bliss than ignoring everything.
Well, Dunning-Kruger.
But as Nathan says, go in peace.
Yeah. Radio Sanctus.
And as
Dominant.
they would say, eat the peas that you go in.
How long,
So-
How long did your demonstration take on Orthodox? Got about 5 minutes before I end the after show.
I want to do it on the live show. I'm not going to do it in the middle.
In all honesty, Unorthodox, you now have a considerably larger audience. This will go out to my biggest channel.
The second one's not going out to your biggest channel?
Right now, we are recording. When this is uploaded, it will go out to my largest audience. So if you want to present something, as you have done before, you didn't realise, but your demonstration with your map comparison went out to the biggest audience of all of them, because it was in the after show. Now,
I just don't understand the difference, and you know we're going to continue this probably into the next show. I mean, I guess I could, but if we continued in the next show, everybody's going to be left out whenever you go live.
Yeah.
They're not going to know what's going on.
Yeah, you should wait. You should wait till after the housekeeping, because then everybody's on, on point and ready to go. I agree.
I don't mind. It's up to you. It's your demonstration. Do what you like.
It just involves demonstration surrounding gravity. It's
great.
It's pretty cool.
When we get to gravity in the housekeeping, you can address it at that point, right?
Are you gonna drop the banjo? Dude.
I'm gonna drop my balls, man. Finally, they're gonna drop.
Can you stop it? No redneck comments. There's just no need. Wiggles.
Oh, sorry. That's right. This is gonna go on the channel. My bad. I thought you might want to know. That is gonna happen today. At least that's what
I was talking to Arwin. There's no need for the racist slurs.
Racist?
Well, if I was to call you an elf or something, I'm sure you wouldn't be pleased about it, right, Arwin?
Oh, really? Well, maybe I'm really proud of being an elf.
Oh, God. You're unshameable. Okay, Arwin, I'm not going to win this one. I'll just drop it.
My girlfriend is finding me very unattractive for doing this, just so y'all know. So I'm directly hindering my attractiveness.
Well, at least your boyfriend still likes you.
Is she catching on to the
That's
flat
true.
Earth?
That's true.
Is she catching on to
Oh
the
yeah,
flat
she's
Earth?
right there. She's right there along with you guys.
Really?
Yes, man. If you were catching on to the flat Earth.
See?
Oh yeah, she's getting there, man. Y'all keep working on her.
Well, don't worry about it. Look, opposites attract, so it'll
Did
actually
I hear you
help.
right? Your girlfriend's on the flat Earth side.
No, please, come on, man. I told you guys I'm a mechanical engineer. You think I'd have a girlfriend that was a flat earther?
Well, they might turn out to be one.
Maybe you just have a girlfriend that's flat.
Well, I mean, typically the crazier they are, the better they are in certain aspects. But I don't know if I would pass that threshold.
This. No need. Don't care. Don't need to know.
So, I mean,
How would you know? How would you know unorthodox if you haven't tried?
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know if I want to push the red line that much.
So you have a lot of sexual fantasies about flat
Oh
earthers?
my God! Right, that's going to be my future.
Just Patricia. Just Patricia.
Okay.
Just
Well, I
Arwin.
can't blame you for that.
Yeah, that will be the note that I round out this show on. So I will say, first and foremost, a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the audience in the Nathan Oakley 1980 channel for tuning in and hopefully sharing this after show and debate. Also, a massive thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible. If you enjoyed the show, smash that like button. But if you hated it, smash that dislike button. But then smash it again. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!